In the ancient tribes, people with schizophrenia, hallucinations, bipolarity, that we consider a strong disease here and they need help, and I agree that they really need help. But the ancient tribes would see these situations as very sensitive people, that they can bring a lot of information into the community. But they need to be held, the way they say, they have the door totally open all the time for the other dimensions, and they lose contact with this dimension and they don't know what is real or not. And in these indigenous tribes, what happened is they would hold them and they would support all these visions and information to be integrated. They would not isolate them, tell them that they have a problem, by the opposite. And with me, only after some years, I really found teachers that they told me, this is not a problem, this is a gift. And somehow I born, I think, with a good balance between rational mind and all these other dimensions experience. It was hard, but I could sustain one foot in one reality in another, and many years without speaking with no one. Only through books, really books, because there was no internet. I had to go to libraries. So I would go and really read a lot, and that really saved me. And more sensitive people that they would not understand, but they would have, the courage not even to criticize. That was a great support, but was only few. So hallucinations in our mental health society can be really damaging even for the person. I believe that even for them, we need to create different protocols the way we treat them. And yes, there's a lot of people that they need medication so they can live here, but not all of them. And we can even help them and treat them with totally different tools that will help them to integrate those experiences here in their relations and in their work. I will repeat, there's some group of people that they really need medication, but they should be treated in a different way too, I believe. We'll go by layers in this conversation, because how can we approach a more rational way for people that they don't know what is it, and for science? So they are doing that. They are studying the psychedelics and to see how that benefits or the consequence of the use of that substances in the brain, in the body, and in the mental and emotional evolution. So they are really focused, for example, in depression and in anxiety, and how that really works, and the amazing results that it has. So of course they are measuring everything, but I believe that there's a part of this that is not possible to be measurable. We need that studies, we need to go further, but I believe that scientists will meet a place of, okay, we can study, but there is something here happening that is bigger than any proofs, any studies. And we see that in real change on people's lives, okay? And how they testify, their testimonial about what happened to them. And that for me is the part that is most interesting for me. I believe that we need to go on with studies, for sure, but when they meet that part that is bigger than the proofs, bigger than the quantification, the explanation is not rational. Like, honestly, who cares if it's real or not? If it really helps that person to heal themselves, to forgive what we consider unforgivable, and that our rational mind and our limits of self-defense system that we created to not feel the pain, and we can overcome them and to really make peace with someone or with ourselves. That is what is the most important, because we really lower the self-defense mechanisms and we entered in the depth of the experience that bring us to a forgiveness that, for example, they are looking for 20 years or more, or addictions. And I will go even deeper. I know that is not proven now. I know that maybe I will even be highly criticized But you need to understand that I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor in that sense. I work with psychotherapy, therapy, spirituality all my life, and I met psychedelics many years ago when this was not being really studied. So my approach, my experience is beyond the measuring. So what I see is, and I hope that everyone is open to discuss, we need to discuss, to open our mind, to have these discussions, and our heart, because the evolution of society is made by people that they are ready to pursue what they believe, even if they can't prove. And then science, history, after some years they can come, and because there was someone speaking about it, they can open that door and say, let's investigate. So what I see from all these 15 years working with psychedelics in myself and with so many people, I believe that is me and my team, we did it, more than 60,000 now, in everything, retreats, psychedelics, is when we go into the experience of psychedelics and we go to the emotional part, rational part, mind, because the mind is there, even if it's very flexible, open to everything. And we go into the psychedelic journey that we go beyond what is understandable with the rational mind and experience in this dimension. You can learn so much by being the wind. You can learn the flexibility, the freedom that you never had in your life. By, for example, being in the body of your mother, inside of her, you can perceive how she perceives life and how the wounds that she carried made her behaving in a certain way, and you understand that, and you really see, that there's nothing to forgive. You were just hurted because you could not understand her, so you forgive immediately, and you really change your behavior. And maybe you had cancer and you don't understand why cancer came to you, and in that journey you can feel how the pain in your heart and the regrets created the breast cancer or any other place. And that's why, by going through that experience, healing yourself, in some ceremonies, I will not quantify because I already saw everything. In 3 ceremonies, in 1 dieta that is 11 days, in 3 months, I already saw with exams before and after cancer disappearing. What do I see? What I'm saying is really see, because some of us, we can really see, perceive, sense. And this is not 1 person or 10 people. It's big numbers. What I see is when you go into a deep healing on the emotional level, where rational mind goes and follows it, when we go to the spiritual level and we have a really true understanding, an expansion of consciousness, how things happened, and we enter in a certain kind of vibration in the physical body during the ceremony that change the physicality of the cells. There's different vibrations in this work. The vibration of the whole body, and it's physical. The vibration of the mind, the vibration of emotions, the vibration of the soul and the spirit, the vibration of the unconscious collective, the vibration of many other realities that we meet, and the vibration of the cells. And when this meet, when we align this healing in several parts with exams before and after, I know that I'm taking a risk by saying this. Cancer is healed, and so many other diseases, physical diseases. So yes, it's true, this is what happens in reality. What I believe is you really need to be ready to heal, you really need to want, and your body needs to be available. There's many people that arrives to me, honestly, really late, and the body can't do the healing. It's impossible. It's not possible. And when we are speaking about true healing, we need to consider in these other dimensions that we entered, the healing is not only yours. When you heal yourself, you are healing generations back, generations in front of you, and you are healing your family constellation around you and social constellation. And there's many forces in that. So if your body is already really, let's call damaged or not in harmony, with not enough strength to do the process, we see results diminishing, but it's not enough. But what I see is that person will go into the path of death much more conscious. This is what I receive from all of them. It's like, thank you for having this sacred space so I really understand myself, what happened to me, and all this process, healing process that they have by forgiveness, understanding how they lived, how they felt, what that provoked in their life, in their relations, in their physical body. The trust that they will never end and death is a passage is really peaceful. It's amazing how we make peace with the process of dying. That is one of the most powerful and frightening process in our society. That's why nobody talks.